offensive starters here for the Steelers. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Second down, Dalton. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And this will be taken at the 13. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Back to throw here. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Here's Cincinnati defensively right now in the NFL ranked number 12 against the pass. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
So prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. And James has it. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And with that touchdown reception, we have a new single-season leader. We were waiting for this moment. We got to see it here.
How much fun is it that we were here to see it? And this guy's able to catch touchdown passes from everywhere. Red zone, out in the field. It didn't matter. You put in his vicinity, he carried it over the goal line.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Dalton, 1st and 10. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ross. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Dalton throwing on second down. To the left side here for Eifert. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Caught Eifert over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys had nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots of the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
The give is to Bell. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, spinning away. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. With it is Brown. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. picked off by George Iloka. And this return's going to go backwards about 8 yards, but the interception is good, and they have the football.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Now he's forced out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now the Bengals on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And able to find Green. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first. 1st and 10 for Dalton. To Mixon on the check down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he couldn't hang on to it.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Watching that, Barney, Barney. Now let's go.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Room here to run. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. In the second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hand.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Browns who are out on top. Baker Mayfield with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll skip over to Louisiana. Check on the Saints at home in New Orleans. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Drew Brees has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston, and that is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Browns in that game. Baker Mayfield hooking up with his guys early and often. 3 first-half touchdowns.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
The second half starts with a carry by Bell. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney! Set! Green 39! Green 39! Switch!
They'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Darqueze Dennard there defensively.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This is Bell on the dump off. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Steelers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 more there and another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Watching now, Barney. Set. Blue, landing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face
Personal
mask.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Watching now, Barney. Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He'll look to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2nd down, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The connection since 2011, Dalton to Green for a Bengal 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Play action here with Dalton. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now the Bengals on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Dalton got his man complete over the middle. It's Green. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Green 39. Leopard.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment. Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Over. Now let's go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Now let's go.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that'll make it second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Back to throw now on second and 10. And he's taken down inside the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Over!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Here's second and goal operating from the 8-yard line.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
He'll get it up the middle, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They'll look to throw here. The quick slant caught. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Boswell's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Dumps it off to Mixon. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?